Built on giving. The spirit of giving has been at the center of Wesbury's 100-year history from the start. It was the original gift of farmland in Conneautville, Pennsylvania, to the ministers and laymen of the Erie Conference of the United Methodist Church from Pittsburgh-area businessman Hyatt M that would grow to become the Wesbury we know today. The year was 1918 when the Ida M. Cribbs Memorial Home was established as a personal care facility for elderly Christians who could no longer care for themselves. At first, it was large enough to accommodate 12 residents and a few caretakers. But the home grew rapidly, and by 1921, their facilities consisted of more than 100 acres with at least 3 residencies. And in 1924, they were operating at a capacity of 70 residents and was considered to be the chief benevolent interest of the Erie Conference. In 1929, close to $165,000 was received from their first ever formal fundraising campaign. In the late 1930s, a great many disastrous fires around the country at homes for older persons caused the board of directors to contemplate replacing the original Cribbs home with a new fire-resistant structure. In 1945, Reverend George Palmer was selected campaign director to raise $500,000 for building a new facility. The conference would look to farmland north of the city of Meadville as the location for its new home when 16 acres of land known as Green Acres on Park Avenue Extension in West Mead Township was given as a gift to the conference from the people of Meadville through the efforts of Dr. H.C. Winslow and other local business representatives. In 1952, under the supervision of Administrator Reverend George Braun, the first residents made the move from Conneautville to the newly constructed all-brick-and-mortar Methodist Home for the Aged in Meadville. In 1957, a new program called Old Age Assistance was started, becoming our first formal benevolent care program. A decade later, the 88-bed Methodist home was operating at full capacity, and officials saw the need to expand the home's mission to include a geriatric hospital to support the increasing diversity in the health needs of the area's aging seniors. Reverend Braun, with the assistance of the conference as well as contributions from many volunteers and donors, raised the funds needed to construct a new 140-bed nursing facility on 7 acres of land adjoining the Methodist home's property that officially opened in 1971. Moving forward, the administrators and leadership began looking into a new venture in senior living. The concept was to provide residential facilities for those who wished to live an independent and maintenance-free lifestyle on the property but wanted access to the continuum of services and programs provided by the Methodist Home and Nursing Hospital. Constructed in 1977, the first villas located along Wesley Way behind the nursing hospital would be the start of the independent living program. Additional property purchased around the existing campus would make room for the later phases of the program's expansion that we see today. As we moved into the 1980s, we would see the start of the modern era with the official name change from the Methodist Home and Nursing Hospital to Wesbury United Methodist Community. In 1982, thanks to fundraising and volunteering efforts, the Nature Trail was opened for use by Wesbury residents. The Wesbury Foundation was created in 1996 to advance Wesbury's Christian mission by encouraging charitable donations that help support the lives of residents at Wesbury. Many residents throughout the Wesbury community receive some kind of philanthropic support and are grateful for the many individuals and organizations that generously donate for the betterment of their lives. In 1997, the Hyatt M. Society was established to honor the distinguished individuals, and the Circuit Rider Society was established to honor the United Methodist Churches. In 2000, Wesbury began to recognize individuals for their leadership, vision, and distinct philanthropic support through our White Dove, Donor of Distinction, and Lifetime Giving Awards. All of those recognized are committed to continuing the benevolent tradition of Wesbury. Contributions made to the Benevolent Care Fund ensure that residents of Wesbury will be cared for regardless of their ability to pay. Thanks to your gifts through the Wesbury Foundation, we continue to enhance this important fund that enables us to care for tomorrow. The Foundation also works as the liaison between Wesbury and the Sunset Auxiliary. Reaching out as an effort to make friends and raise funds for the needs of residents, the Sunset Auxiliary was formed in 1954 by Mrs. Florence Braun. This network of individuals within the area United Methodist Churches is still going strong today and has supplied many much-needed amenities to residents throughout the decades. Throughout the years, the Sunset Auxiliary's gift items have included everything from handrails and hymnals in the early years to larger purchases like contributing funds for the construction of the picnic shelter, a 4- and an 8-person golf cart used in a variety of ways, including taking residents on rides around campus, pledging $50,000 for improvements to the Grace Beauty Shop, and so much more. Wesbury couldn't be more thankful for their continuing support. In addition to running the volunteer staff Sunset Auxiliary gift shop at Grace, they also raise funds through bake sales, Granny's Attic rummage and book sales, and the holiday sale held each November. The Sunset Auxiliary was an integral part of our first ever chicken barbecue held in 1989. 29 years later, this event is bigger and better than ever, bringing more than 3,000 people to the Wesbury campus each July. Fundraising events have been a big part of Wesbury's history. Today, the foundation holds 3 major friend-raising events that support Wesbury's Benevolent Care Fund. They include the Senior and Friends Golf Scramble held in June, the Chicken Barbecue and Craft Fair in July, and the Tribute Banquet and Auction in October. Additionally, there are multiple seasonal appeals and campaigns that benefit Wesbury residents. To build support for our Benevolent Care Fund, the Foundation's annual campaigns have been chaired by Robert and Janet Wade, Richard Burkhart, and Virginia Birchfield. A longtime tradition, the Christmas luminaries are displayed at the annual Resident and Family Christmas Reception. For over 30 years, this holiday tradition, started by Wesbury resident Reverend Herbert E. Boyd as a symbol of our care and compassion, has delighted residents, employees, volunteers, family members, and guests. For a charitable donation, a luminary candle is lit in memory or in honor of friends and loved ones. Tribute luminary posters are displayed on campus so that all can enjoy the tribute message throughout the holiday season. In 2002, the first Travel with Wesbury trip was planned. The idea in planning these trips was to raise money for our Benevolent Care Fund. Over the years, as participation and interest grew, Wesbury trips have become popular and in demand. We are now offering up to 2 trips per year, local and abroad. Over the past 15 years, Wesbury Adventures have taken us to places like Ireland, Cape Cod, New Orleans, Vermont, and along the Danube River. In celebration of our 100-year anniversary, we are about to return to Europe for a trip on the Rhine and Mosel rivers. In addition to providing a wonderful opportunity for our travelers, these trips continue to allow us to build genuine relations while raising funds to support our nonprofit Christian mission. Benevolent Care is not the Foundation's only cause, as it was instrumental in running the Fulfilling the Mission capital campaign to renovate Grace Rehabilitation and Health Center in 2003. During this 10-year transformation project, in addition to each resident room being redesigned, Grace added the Emmeline D. Barco Chapel that features beautifully restored stained glass windows. Dating back to 1916, the windows were a gift from the now-defunct Brackenridge United Methodist Church near Pittsburgh. Imported from Austria during the early 1900s, these windows were also a part of the Fulfilling the Mission campaign and adorned the names of Wesbury contributors who sponsored the window. Also added during the campaign were the Sunset Auxiliary Gift Shop, Neighborhood Grill, Beauty Shop, 4,200 square feet of new rehabilitative space, as well as a new medical arts building. Other campaigns include 2007's Get on the Bus, which proved to be so successful, Wesbury purchased 2 new buses, a lift bus to transport Wesbury residents to and from medical appointments, as well as an activities bus for transportation to shopping, entertainment, and more. Thanks to generous contributions, Wesbury's Nature Trail received substantial upgrades in 2010 and 2012. This included a total repaving, adding a water fountain at the trail's start, and the refurbishment of trees and bushes along the trail. More recently, Wesbury employees teamed up with the Foundation and took their staff-only weight loss challenge outside the box to raise funds for the residents they serve by starting the annual 5K Chicken Run Walk. Going into its 3rd year in 2018, this event piggybacks on Wesbury's Chicken Barbecue Weekend, which continues to grow. We are proud to have our employees recognize and support the needs of our residents and the mission we strive to fulfill.
I'm really proud to be part of Wesbury's 100-year celebration of our history. I think when we look to our future, it's always good to look at our past to see what we've done, what's got us to where we are today. What was Wesbury's mission? What was Wesbury's philosophy? We've always been a leader in the senior living industry. We've always been progressive and adapt to change as we need to. We've embraced our faith-based heritage, our Methodist heritage, and we will continue to do so. And as we look into that next 100 years, the people will change, the challenges will change, but our philosophy will not change. Our mission won't change. We'll continue to be adaptive. We'll continue to be progressive. We'll embrace our Methodist heritage, and we're really excited to be part of this dynamic healthcare reform and change that we see coming, and we're very confident that our next 100 years will be as bright as our prior 100 years.
Reaching 100 years of service to area seniors is a landmark milestone. While we celebrate our history, our mission-driven Christian roots, and the visionary leadership that guided us to where we are today, we also want to recognize and thank all of the individuals and groups who have contributed to Wesbury. Over these years, we have raised millions of dollars to benefit those residents who call Wesbury home. Your continuing support allows us to remain at the forefront of offering the best health care and senior living options possible to people from across the economic spectrum. With a foundation built upon the generous gifts of so many, we can be confident the future is bright for Wesbury as we look forward to moving on in our next century.